left ear, and you can see the ear canal entrance here is completely collapsed, and I've had to retract and stretch open the ear canal. And I did that by using my right hand, and I pulled the pinner back. So the pinner is the cartilage, the satellite dish externally, and that's visible. And so I pulled it back and up, and that stretches the ear canal entrance open. I then insert the endoscope into the ear canal and push it to the right hand side. So the endoscope almost acts like a doorstop or a crowbar almost, if you like, and it widens the ear canal, which then allows me to insert the instrument again with using my right hand. I started off with microsuction. Now the consistency of this wax is quite stodgy and fudge-like. I wasn't getting a good suction grip, so I resorted to using an ear hook, and you will see in a moment I'm then going to be using some forceps. And with the hook, if I insert it vertically, I'm able to get it inside the ear, and then I can stretch the ear open, rotate the tip of the hook into this kind of fudgy, stodgy wax. You can see the consistency there. It's kind of elastic, and slowly but surely removing some wax. And the ear canal entrance is just about wide enough to insert this ear hook vertically without me having to manipulate the ear. So I've glided the hook in, and once I'm in, I can stretch the ear open a bit. I turn the hook clockwise to get some purchase, and then slowly bringing it out. Now you'll see at the end, if you keep watching, after I move all the wax and a lot of dead skin actually in here, the patient's front part of the ear canal, so to the left, is slightly bruised and blistered. Now, I don't think that occurred during the procedure, because at no stage did the patient flinch, and also you can see where we're doing the procedure, there's at no time where I felt, even when watching it back, I wanted to watch it back just to see if it's something that I caused myself. But I don't feel I was ever on that side of the ear canal. Now, it's not to say that it didn't happen during the procedure, but I don't think it did. Nonetheless, the patient was okay. It could have been that they've been self-inflicted by poking in their ears as well. But that swelling you'll see in a moment will settle down. It's just a bit of bruising almost, a blister. So I've got the forceps in, I'm bringing this forwards, extracting it. We've got to be careful with the forceps, because if you over clamp them, what happens is the forceps, the jaws, just cut through it and tear little pieces. And sometimes it's unavoidable because of the consistency of the wax. So when I'm clasping it, I'm not fully clasping it, I'm just allowing the jaws, the teeth on the jaws, to get some purchase, so get some grip, and then I'm slowly bringing it forwards. We're using some 3mm micro forceps here. Anything larger, we wouldn't be able to get it in the ear. You can see it's quite a lot of matted keratin wax at the entrance, a lot of hairs that are embedded within it. Now, why has this patient got a collapsed ear canal? The most common cause is just age-related. So the outer part of the ear canal, the cartilaginous portion, over time that weakens with age, and then gravity causes it to droop downwards and collapse. It's similarly to the tip of our nose, the cartilage there. As that weakens over the years, it can you can develop a droopy tip. Other possible reasons, anatomically the patient may have been born with just this very narrow ear canal entrance. Or sometimes it can be a result of chronic ear infections or possible surgery where the cartilage just weakens at the entrance and it collapses upon itself. So I think I've just gone back in with a hook. I'm just at the roof there, rotating it clockwise and bringing it forward. You can see I've managed to get this big chunk of really fudge type stodgy wax. So you just see to the left there, it's slightly bruised. I'm going to go back in with a fine end suction gauge in a moment to vacuum some of this dead skin that's enveloping the ear canal, but a nice healthy eardrum. And you'll get a better view in a minute. Once you're into the ear, about a centimetre into the ear canal does widen quite a lot, so it's a lot more visible. So just to the left, I don't know if you can see that. So it's just some keratin around there, just peeling that away. So now that I'm looking at it again, I just think it was probably to be there before. A bit of swelling, a bit of hematoma there. Nice healthy eardrum. So that's the patient's left ear complete. Now, the right ear, the ear canal was a bit wider, but the wax in here, it was all more like honey and syrupy, and it's a really difficult consistency of wax to work with. Put some drops in straight away, stretching the ear open. So in the case of the right ear, what we did, again, use my right ear. I'm holding the eye clear scope in my left hand. I'm using my right hand. I'm pulling the ear back and up to stretch it, widen it. I'm then inserting the endoscope into the ear, just past the entrance, and then applying pressure to the left-hand side of the ear canal, the back parts, just to keep the ear canal ajar, keep it open. So the endoscope's almost like a doorstop and a crowbar, like I mentioned in the first ear. Once I've stretched the ear, it allows me ample space to insert the instrument of choice safely into the ear canal. So this is just near the entrance, and it's a collection of dead wax and skin. I'm going to use a curette and the ear hooks. There's a little gap just at the top there, and you can see at the roof. So I just thought, let me go in with the ear hook, get it into that gap, detach it from the roof of the ear canal, and trying to extract it forwards. But as I am, because it's quite a syrupy, honey type of consistency, the hook is just slicing through it like a hot knife through butter would. Nonetheless, it is breaking it up into little pieces. So I'm now using a curette, and the widening at the top of the ear canal is a bit more significant now, so I'm able to get the curette in. And slowly coming out of the ear, you can just see it's like honey or thick butter. So I've probably got half of this wax out. I'm going to use some olive oil drops in a moment again. So I'm using the curette almost like a spade. We're just going to be careful with the curette and the drops and horn as I bring it back out of the ear, that I'm not applying too much pressure on the ear canal wall, so otherwise we can graze the canal and bruise it and sometimes even cut into it. So we're just going to be gentle. We don't want to embed the curette too deep into this soft wax as to avoid making contact with the canal wall. Slowly but surely we're getting there. So these kind of procedures require a lot of patience. I had a patient today who attended. It was a lot more complex than this actually, even though the ear canal in this ear, the left side, was completely narrow and shut. And I'll try and upload it during this week, but they had this really mushy consistency of wax, and it not only was it coating the canal wall, but it was impacted on the eardrum, and the difficulty was it was hard to judge the thickness of this mushy wax keratin that was stuck to the drum. And when you're using a suction probe, you can't go gung-ho, because if you don't get that depth of that layer of mushy wax and keratin correct, you're going to go straight into the eardrum. So it was a bit of a technically challenging one, but we did succeed, and as I said, I will try and upload that this week. You can see around the perimeter, the border of the ear canal, all this freshly shedded keratin, and as the keratin matures and it forms part of this plug and it goes more inwards, it oxidizes and it turns from a kind of a translucent pale yellow, almost white in appearance colour, to a darker orange, brown, and sometimes even black once it's fully oxidized. So this is just some skin on the posterior canal. We just want to get it out of the way because it's just obscuring my view a bit. So this is this remaining wax is on the eardrum. You can just probably see the eardrum at the bottom is becoming in view now, the blue tinge. So that's the inferior section of the eardrum. I think it's just blocked my suction tube, so I'm going to put some oil in a moment. I'm sure I am. There we are. I've just put a couple of aliquots of olive oil spray. That will just help bind this wax together. It'll lubricate the canal wall, and it'll also lubricate the inside of the suction probe. So if there is wax travelling up it, it's less likely to get blocked. So it's quite a large piece there actually. It's quite surprising. I didn't think it was going to be as large as this last piece. You can see it there. Nice healthy eardrum, just a bit of staining on the drum, a bit of wax here and there. We're going to leave that. We're not going to attempt to remove that. It's not going to improve the patient's symptoms in any way. It's going to mop up near the end.